duplexes and condos being put up in Ocean City.
Right.
And what are you doing to preserve some of the older homes, less condos, and preserve some of our older homes? Is there something you can do to preserve this?
Well, what we've done since
Because I've personally been affected.
people are affected, and here's the rub. When we came here, I think we've upped the single-family homes. The problem is a lot of single-family homes look like duplexes. This is your investment, So it's difficult for us to tell us what to do in your investment because it's choices made. You know, I chose not to be a fireman, I chose to be an amusement guy. So when you shoot, sometimes you live in places a long time, and I understand that. So for the government, we have to try to figure out what can we do. We have a historic district. You know, if people want to save homes, they can do that. It's the toughness is in today's economy, and you know, nobody knows what's in your bank account. So when families come in and their parents die or their grandparents and they get this property, what's the best use for their family? Is it to keep it? Is it to rent it? Is it to demolish it? You know, do I have health issues with family? And this is where I always say, you know, it's the same thing with the social media a little bit, is when you're affected personally like you were, and thankfully you look great, so hopefully you feel better. It's very difficult because if that's your investment, you want to be able to try to get as much of that back out to take care of your family. And that's, so when you say development, overdevelopment, it goes crazy. Seashore towns were built on development. You just go up and down the coast. You move here and then people want to just change the way it is. It's like moving next to an airport. But I think if we're respectful, we listen to the residents. I know I guess sooner or later we're going to be doing our master plan, which really looks at everything. And this DEP things that are coming up. So, between council and I, again, we do listen, but it's a difficult thing because if something happened to you or your family and all that kind of stuff, they might want to cash out. And thankful for what you've done. I mean, you've taken care of your family, and that's how I look at a lot of these things. So when people overdevelop or this developer, well, is the developer doing it, or is the builder doing something? Is a resident there saying this is what I want? We generalize way too much, and again, it doesn't make you happy for where you are right now, and I understand that. But to understand where we come from, I have to look at everything and everybody, and what's the best way. And the biggest thing we can do is when we have the master plan, that's zoning and planning, goes I think the planning board, right? That's something where the residents can come out and say, this area, this is what I want. I know a lot of times in historic district, that's been a feisty little thing too, because some people don't want to be in a historic, they want to be able to have the rates that everybody else is getting around Ocean City. So it's probably one of our toughest jobs as council and the mayor is to hit how do you address fairly the development, and I don't have the magic pill for that one. I don't want to take away from people that can take care of their families. I think it's it.
I know it keeps the tax base down, but it also pollutes more of the oceans, and the sand is sinking, it's sinking a little bit. There's a lot of things happening environmentally, and I'm concerned about Mita's building with the zoning changing, that'll change the whole view on the boardwalk.
That's not how it works. And this is why you have to wait for the process. But if somebody does something, just like at the Soleil at 11th Street, that didn't change anything, and it still hasn't been built yet. So that prediction and looking forward, saying this is what's going to happen, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, and we just got to prepare for whatever happens. But I agree with you. I understand what you're saying, but there's so much gossip and so much misinformation out there about this whole thing. And at the end of the day, is when they come forward, and we'll all have a